Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming today. I appreciate Dr. Match's remarks. He has been tremendously supportive of myself and my family for over the last 7 years. I have great love for the University of Florida. I'm very proud of what Dr. Match and Jeremy Foley, how they have helped us, what we've accomplished here at the University of Florida. I'm stepping down as the head football coach at the University of Florida, focus on family and my other interests away from the sidelines. I would be glad to answer your questions for you at this time.
Robert. Coach, when did you make your decision, and will you coach again at some point, or do you know yet?
The decision was, last year was a wake-up call, and early this week I had a visit with Jeremy about some thoughts I was having, and then made a decision this yesterday.
And will you coach again, or is that something to think about later?
I'll think about that later. Immediacy, no.
Pat, over to the left.
Robert, when you left a year ago, you talked about family as well. Do you regret coming back and spending that whole year?
No, I love Florida. I got the best bosses in the country with Jeremy and our athletic director. I got a great staff, and that was a knee-jerk reaction to the situation, and the timing was not right. I don't know if timing's ever perfect, but at least this way you get a new coach on board, help recruiting, and move forward.
Andy, and then Tom.
Coach, you may have just touched on it, but it's something you might be able to expand on. What was different about when you came to the decision this time versus when you came to it last year?
Last year, like I said, was a knee-jerk reaction, a lot of emotion in our family. We have a very tight-knit family. My daughter came home from college and found out what happened, and that was you can only imagine for those of you children. And then this year was just completely different. This I'm doing, I think, what's best for the University of Florida, for our players, and for obviously myself and my family.
Tom, you had Andy? Oh, sorry.
Urban, we asked for a simple reason for a complex decision, but why?
Why? That is a fairly simple. I think sometimes we make it far too complex. At the end of the day, I'm very convinced that you're going to be judged on how you are as a husband, as a father, not if how many bowl games we won. And I've not seen my two girls play high school sports. They're both very talented Division I volleyball players, so I missed those 4 years. And I missed 2 already, born away at college. And I was blessed in a family that never missed anything. And so I can't get that time back. And I made a commitment to them that when we came here, I was going to make sure they graduate from the same high school. We've done that. I made a commitment to them recently that I'm going to enjoy the best years of their life, and that's right now.
Edward, over to the left.
As far as recruiting goes, how have you talked to the recruits that are committed, uncommitted? Where do they kind of go from here?
Well, I talked to a handful of them already. I'm going to make a bunch of calls here tonight and tomorrow. Florida's Florida. Florida always will be Florida. Even last year with the issues, we put together a great class and great coaches here. I'm sure the coaching candidates will be fantastic. And we just got to get moving. And obviously, with all this early signing and everything, it's timing the rest of the bit.
Will you help with the...
Absolutely help. Full speed ahead.
Mark, over to the right here, Coach Mark.
Urban, there were absolutely no health concerns this time, and were you able to put in as much commitment as you had in the past after last year's school?
As much
time, effort?
Oh, yeah, yes. To say that there wasn't a scare or there wasn't, that'd be incorrect. It was. But that's not the reason for this press conference here today.
Mike in the middle. Mike.
Urban, you said after the Florida State game that you're going to get this thing fixed and rebuild this thing. What changed after that game? And also just talk about the irony that your last game is going to be the Outback Bowl and Joe Paterno is going to be the one that's not retiring.
Someone made a comment that Coach Paterno, when he stepped down at my age, it was in 1972. We're actually great friends, and I can't wait to see him. I think I see him tomorrow. Mike, your first part of the question?
After the Florida State game, you said you were going to get this thing fixed, get it rebuilt.
Well, it has to be fixed. It's broken a little bit right now. But the way you fix it is hard work. And when I say broke, it's broke because of a constant attrition of coaches who, God bless them, have gone on to be great head coaches. You know, throughout college football, I think someone said we have 10 that have been on my staff over the last 10 years. So I've obviously been very fortunate. I'm the best coaches in America, and they've been improving on their own. You lose 5 juniors to the NFL draft, and then you have a little bit of a void in there right now. But it's Florida. We'll be back strong, stronger in my opinion, stronger than ever. We have the facilities that are in place now to do that. It's going to be a great young team. I mean, this is not like a bare knuckles situation.
What changed from the Florida State game though until now? I guess you thought after that game you were going to be back? Or?
Yes, I did, and just family discussions. You know, my best friends up in Georgia Tech, and my other best friends, high school seniors. So some very deep family discussions.
Jason, over to the left.
Is it harder for you at all to leave after a year like this rather than a more successful year? Does that eat at you?
Yeah, it does. I just think Florida deserves the best, and I'm not sure we gave them our best this year. But there's never perfect timing. So it does. But
When did you meet with the players and what was that like?
it was tough. I met with them today at 2 o'clock. We have a couple of our guys here, and for the most part, they're very gracious, and we just want to do this thing right. The seniors, you know, one of the winningest classes in the history of Florida football. Some of my winners are against Penn State.
Mike up front here, the right Mike.
I don't know if you said earlier that there wasn't health issues this year as well. That was what you were talking about last year.
Right.
Buddy, over to the left.
Urban, I think it was 6 years ago in this room, you came in, you had a little light in your eye.
6 years in one day.
6 years in one day, and
Right.
I could be wrong, but I think I see that light today in your eye a little differently. You look like you're relieved, and you look like you feel good about your decision.
I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate what this university's done for myself and my family. More importantly, what a great, I've got, I want to say 175 text messages, and a good chunk were from Brian Stamper and some of the great players that I'm fortunate coaching here. And to think what they have built. I mean, it's kind of cool to walk around the stadium and see that, well, we didn't build it. We kind of built upon what they did in the 90s, and it was a great tradition. And I think, you know, you look at the 06 team, it'll go down as one of the most overachieving, hardworking teams we've ever had. The 08 team would probably go down, in my opinion, I'm a little biased, as one of the great teams in college football history. You can see what all they're doing across the NFL now, and when you look at the statistics of that team, I mean, it's hard to say that's not one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the history of the game. So, a lot of great memories, and very proud of what we've done.
Quick follow-up, just want to say, last time you had a walk with Mickey Marotti out there, you guys talked about the program, you changed your mind. Why did you change your mind that day, and why haven't you changed your mind this time?
Number one, I changed my mind as far as staff and our players, which most of our decisions have always been about that. And the timing for my boss was not appropriate, was not a good time. That was, like I said, that was a Christmas decision when everybody got together and the details came out of everything that happened in December. So, once again, there's not a perfect time. However, this is probably about as good a time as you can have.
We go Dennis in the back and then Rachel before we move on to Jeremy Foley. Dennis?
Urban, could you foreseen the drop-off in the offense this year, and what did happen in hindsight, you think?
I did not see I saw a drop-off. I didn't see the drop-off that we had. I'm not sure the time to discuss all the, I mean, there's a multitude of reasons from injuries to lack of execution to whatever, but there were a lot of reasons.
Rachel in the middle and in the back. Rachel?
How much did this season struggles factor into this, and do you have any regrets about coming back for this year?
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. I don't think the struggles of the season, you can fix struggles. You know, if there was a different timing in my family's lives where they weren't involved in sports and involved in all the things that a dad should be at, and I know it might be different, but I want to make clear that's it. That's the reason. And I think, last year was a wake-up call. And see my beautiful daughter Gigi over there signing a national letter of intent to go to Florida Gulf Coast, and I'm not seeing the school yet. And I guarantee I'm going to go see it.
Wrap it up in the back. One final question before we bring Jeremy Foley up here. Question in the back.
Urban, right over here. Right in the back, sorry. WCJB. How involved are you going to be now that your girls are already in college and your son is still kind of coming up with the sporting events?
Well, I'm going to put a resume together, and I'm going to try to be a Gator Ball assistant baseball coach this spring. I've not put a resume together in a long time, so I'm going to have a little help in the interview process to try to help them out a little bit.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.